I hope you're having a beautiful morning this morning. It is chilly here in Vermont. So, like I am feeling it. I will be putting up some curtains this morning and or today. No, but first thing this morning, I'm having a nice cup of coffee and I just am saying good morning. Here, we'll put this on, saying good morning to my little finches. I clean their little cage, and they seem really, like they're starting to get really comfortable. And I'm looking for markings and differences, like in their color and whatnot. And this morning, I noticed. I thought it might be a little bit more white on the back of the male finch and a little bit darker around the edges of the wings of the female. So that's Mashuki and Umi. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back. And what we're going to do, what I wanted to bring you along with me on this morning is I am making these little teensy weensy little bowls. They're not like, they're really little stands for the mushrooms to stand in. So that, and the other thing I wanted to show you and bring you along with me on is, and I kind of was having a little dream about this. By the way, if you're new to the program, jump on board. It's totally free. We create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And it's our way to give the earth a little hug. And I gotta tell you, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those are, and even Sunday a lot of times, these are wonderful days for the artist. You know, the weekend days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday especially. But starting Thursday, and today's Friday, working on your projects, thrift shopping for your fabrics. So these parts of the design came to my mind last night. So I will be cutting, and by the way, I did put this in the washing machine, and it held up beautifully. But I like to do that when I get a piece from the thrift shop. But all these flowers came to my mind last night, and because a lot of the rest of the quilt is are the squares, and with some florals, but they're more of a subtle or not so bright, maybe it was like supposed to be a fall, or I think a Thanksgiving quilt. But anyway, so the flowers are kind of what I'm aiming for today, later, because this morning I'm going to come back on here, and we're going to make little flower beds. We're going to make needle felting beds. Okay, so when you have, so I'm just gonna make one of these with you this morning for those of you who are interested in crocheting and you like to do that. So I'm using twine. The other material I'm using, this is 100% wool. So either of these will work for me to put a needle felted mushroom in it. And the bottom really does, like this one should be a little bigger because I want the bottom flat. So, but I want to make a little bowl effect. So you don't want to, even though you're making a really tiny piece right here. Well, hello, little Mashuki. You don't want to use a tiny hook. You do not, because it's not going to accommodate the medium heavy weight of the twine. So a JK hook is fine, a JK. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to do a little loop here. And it only takes a few minutes to make these. Now, with this little concept I'm showing you right now, I'm going to make that. I want that tail a little longer. with the concept of making this little bowl, okay, you can make that bigger too. It doesn't have to be teeny tiny like that. I'm making it teeny tiny because I want the stem of the mushroom to fit in there nice and snug. Okay, so all I did was a chain 4. You could do 4 or 5. I just did 4. And then I just slip knot them together. And then what I'm going to do for the first round anyways, a chain, and then I'm just going to do a single crochet going through, and then a chain. A chain just gives me a little bit, it just lets me make it a little flat. Because if you're going to have tight stitches from the get-go, and you can, but what those will create is kind of like a little, not even a bowl. It will just have a nice, like a cord. It will create a cord. Good morning. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you being here today. Happy Friday morning, everyone. So, I am a couple things. Excuse me. As you know, we have the needle felting class next week. There's still plenty of time to jump on. Hi, Carol and Alex, and it disappeared on me. I got to figure out how to keep that a little bit longer so I can see names. But good morning. Thank you for being with me, everyone. I hope you've got your I wouldn't say weekend project, but it's also kind of a fall project, Thanksgiving project, Halloween project. It's like whatever project you are really working on. And okay, so, and I think I'm going to do another round of chain, single crochet, chain, single crochet. That just gives you a little bit, when you add a chain, anytime you add your chains, right? For those of you who are not sure and you're doing your creative crochet, you add a chain and it helps, it gives you extra, okay? It gives you extra area. And it loosens it, let's say. If that's what you're trying to do. If you want to tighten it, then yeah, you don't. So the more chains you put in your, whatever you're doing, your rounds or your rows, it's going to make that looser. It's going to make it wider. Okay. And that's what I'm looking for right now. I want some flat, I want a little area here because, okay, and then this is the thing. You can always pull it in. You can pull it in. Okay, so this is good. This is about the size I want. And I'm just gonna do a few more here. And if you're looking like you want height, quicker, you want height, then you can do your double crochet, your triple crochet. It will either give you, yeah, your widen, your diameter quicker, or heighten it, whichever you're trying to do. So because those are just the stitches that are longer, higher, they have more height to them, right? They're bigger stitches. Okay, so this is good. Now the finches, so something I noticed with the finches is that they actually move, they're tiny little birds, but they move things around in their cages. Hi, Amanda and Karina. Oh, thank you. Well, you know what? Crocheting with twine, this is what the twine, it's not, you do feel it a little bit because it doesn't move as smoothly as your yarn. but it does move. So this is the last one I'm going to do right here. Now, what I want is to pull it up a little, kind of like this one. You can see a little depth in there. See the depth in there? So what I'm going to do is just go around, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Okay, and I'm just going to do a little bit. I just want to pull it in a little. And I'm going to skip a stitch and do a single crochet, skip a stitch. Now with the twine too, you may get some variance in the twine in itself. In other words, it may be thicker or thinner as you go along. That's just how twine is. So I'm just skipping right now like a stitch. Okay, I'm skipping a stitch to get some height in the bowl here. And this is good right here. Okay. And you see, it's kind of like a little nest. Isn't that cute? I would make them a little nest of twine. But guess what? They don't recommend. There's a couple things that the avian community does not recommend for wild birds or, birds. And that, believe it or not, is wool fibers and twine. Now, people do make things out of the twine and the wool. They'll do felted wool nests and put them out. And those fibers are more secure and flattened. However, they could lift in time. And they don't recommend those, right? So look, they just took the apple out of the bird's bowl. I stuck it in and they took it out. Anyway, so raffia. Raffia is the material, and I've been looking for raffia for quite some time now because I want to make a little bird nests for the wild birds and be able to put them out. And, they have a natural water resistant and all of that. So anyway, with this is done here. And I'm just going to clip that. But this was in real time. You see, we've been on here 12 minutes, and I started this just a few minutes ago. So these are for my class, for the little mushroom, needle felting mushroom class. And I want each of my participants to have their own little bowl to put their, it's not a bowl really, it's going to be like just a little vase, a little tiny holding base for their mushroom. And plus it gives them a little perspective on the stem. The stem should be a little bit wide like that so it can actually stand. And it needs to have splay and different little things. So there's a couple different reasons I'm making this for my class. If you're in Vermont or coming through Vermont, come on over to Morrisville. There's still seats. There's still spaces in this particular class. We're going to have more classes. Let me know what kind of classes you would like to see, because I'm going to bring these up here and tie them, because we're happy to accommodate. You know what I mean? I'm happy to structure a class on something that you would like to learn. So I'm bringing, now this is what I do. I use the tails to kind of as a little decorative thing too. So you want to tie your tails, you want to hide them. So I just wove them up a little bit here, and I'm just going to tie the tail. I'm going to leave the tails, but I'm going to tie them double tie, because look how adorable this is. The other one I have to trim too, but I just want to trim it. So it's kind of like a little bow on there. Okay, and this one too. This one I could have made a little higher, but the nice thing about crochet is if you want to add to it, you can add to it. And if you do want to rip rip it out and redo part of it, you can do that too. So we've got two little bowls here. And I'm gonna do one here in the, I'm gonna do some of these. Here, I'll do one with you right now since we're right here, because we're gonna come back and do the needle felting beds shortly. So this is wool. Okay, let's see if I can get it on the camera. And let's see, you want to see the little birds? Let me flip it. See if they stay right there for a minute. Look, aren't they adorable? Now I notice they're sitting, now they love their little millet. The little girl, female is eating her millet, and the male is very vocal, and he does try to impress her already. It's really good to see them happy and eating, you know, first thing in the morning. They're looking for their food. They're getting used to me pulling the tray out and cleaning. And I'm going to show you later some of the things that I'm doing behind the scenes to prepare for my bird cleaning cage. Okay, so back to the crochet. Now with this is a little less than medium weight. This is medium light. This is light. It's not light because it's wool. But anyway, I'm going to still use, I'm going to use an L hook, okay? You could use JKL, but anyway, so all I'm doing is, because I want the bottom flat, this one I'm going to make a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I'll make it 5, and then I'm just going to do a little slip knot. That's all I did, was a little slip knot. That's the beginning of your circle, okay? And then I'm going to do a little chain, and what I'm going to do here is a little bit double crochet, because I kind of want to get through this. Oh, I have to put this down here. Now, the reason I am also making the participants for my upcoming class, which is, by the way, Thursdays, coming Thursday. And like I said, if you want to jump on board and you're in Vermont or coming through Vermont, call River Arts. Just call River Arts and say, and ask for Elena. And ask or for the coordinator, someone you can talk to about the needle felting class, and they will help you. So, but the reason I'm making this for them is I want to give them the option, if they want to also needle felt, and just show them that they can needle felt their wool, their crocheted base for their mushroom that is made of 100% wool. I just want to show them that they can do this, okay? Because there are so many ways to felt. And I did a video on this channel, probably 300 videos ago, that you can do this. Okay, that you can felt your wool, whether it's your yarn wool, your 100% sheep's wool, llama wool, whatever it is, in different ways. You can agitate it, you can crochet it and agitate it, you can wet felt, so many different ways, okay? So, anyway, the other thing we're going to be doing, I kind of like to lay it out today, is a chakra fabric journal, okay? And we're going to also be doing a Kawandi mini wall hanging, a Kawandi piece. So now you probably say, well, how does she jump from this one to that one? So do you remember at all, you guys remember when you were in school or college, especially college College, you take 6, 7 courses. I think I took 7. I had my little babies, my children, and I was whipping through those courses. But guess what? In school, you have 6, 7 subjects a day. That's what you have. So you're going from 6, 7 different projects through the day. And so you see them divided up into 45-minute increments. It's the same with art. When you get in a routine of that, your mind, you can either start the project, start it and finish it, and I do that. I work on projects. I'll go days working on the same projects. It's not that I'm always jumping, but when I am and I do jump a lot, I will tell you, but it gives my mind time to process some of the designs, and they'll pop into my mind later. Like this came into my mind. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. This, the vine, the red, and I'm like, oh my God, that design is on the quilt. I can focus on that for journals too. So for floral, for gardeners. Okay, so we already got our base here. Now, this is, okay, and all I did, and you can see how quickly it went, and it's about the same size. Here, I'll tie the tail here. But what I did with that to go so quickly with this particular one is, first of all, I used a bigger stitch. I used double crochet. I used a double crochet, okay? So you could use triple, you could use treble. You could do Tunisian. But I made a list. So anyway, I got up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I made a list here of, and we're going to get back to that in a second, different things that I plan to either offer and teach over at the River Arts. There's a number of things. And also teach here. Projects I want to do for art and craft. Now, I'm working on a little book, and I really just need to finish this. It won't take me long. Just little projects you can make out of boro and other little things too, but for your art and craft fair that people like and that will sell, that I have sold. Now, I would love to make it more of a focus to go to these art and craft fairs. I really would. I think it would be so much fun, and to kind of get to the bigger ones is what I'm saying. So okay, so I tied this, and I'm just going to. So a couple things. I think I'm going to just leave it a bow because I kind of like the little. Now, and if they want to take that and needle felt it in, they can. This is completely feltable. This is 100% wool. Okay, 100%. And so now with the twine, there's a little bit of a different thing going on. That this is, they can get the base of the wool mushroom stem in the twine here, and it will felt into the base. It's just not going to be as, what do you want to say, as applicable as 100% wool. They'll have to be very careful with their needle, and they will have the option, if they just want to take it, place it in and kind of needle felt it a tiny bit so it's in nice and neat, tuck it in. But they can also be putting fabric glue at the bottom of this just to secure it because it's twine. But it is a natural fiber, and but it is also firm. It is thick, and they need to be you would have to be very careful with your needle felting needle, and just very gently, because that's all it would take is for the wool fibers to hook in with the twine. Totally, like it would just happen very quickly and easily. With this, they can go through a little bit more, and isn't that just precious? So this is what the mushroom will be going in. So I will be making a bunch of these, and I was looking for something like this. Let me say this. So look, if you have your sewing, um, uh, whatever you call these, what's the name of this anyway? Your little sewing container. What's it container? It's not the bobbins, but anyway, if you have one of these, you use up all your thread. Don't throw this out, because look, you can use this for so many different things. I'm just kind of like thinking, if I made this a little bigger, that could be a little hat. You could use a little fabric. You can make a little ornament. I don't want to call it a bobbin, but anyway, that's your little thread holder there. And so it's just about anything that you get that you're going to recycle, hold on to it, okay? So anyway, with that, I just wanted to jump on here, and I guess my mind is more on starting the beds. So I'm going to charge up my my tablet, and I'm going to start laying everything out, and I'm gonna come back on here very shortly, because it really helps me to be sharing whatever I'm doing. It just makes it not so monotonous, because I do have to make a number of these. So I'm bringing you with me. Okay. So with that, I will see you in the next one. Love and light.